I'm Deborah Borchardt, and this is your midday market update. Well, when we look at the indices, we've really been a little bit up and down, but for the most part, the Dow is in the green territory, although not by much. S&P 500 right now is flatlining a little bit down, and then the NASDAQ, it's up just a bit. But again, we're starting to slow down on that volume as we head closer and closer to Thanksgiving. One thing that we had a lot of volume of was housing data, and joining me now is Keith Bliss from Cuttone. So Keith, we got a slew of housing numbers over yesterday and today. Let's run through them because it's kind of a little bit of a mixed picture, right?
It is. So yesterday we got pending home sales, which was down again. Now this is a little bit of a troubling trend because it's been down for a few months in a row now when it's down year on year. And the data that we got today was permits. They couldn't get new housing starts compiled fast enough. They're still claiming that the government shutdown is affecting that number. Nothing like a government-run operation to be efficient. But anyway, so we got permits numbers for both. Today we got them for both September and October. They were down a little bit in September, but they were up big in October. But there's the cautionary tale. Like all data points, you've got to look underneath the headline because most of the permits were for multifamily housing, so for apartment buildings. Multifamily housing permits are up about 22% year on year. Single family homes, though, are only up about 8 or 9% year on year. So the strength is in multifamily. And so then today, of course, we got the Case-Shiller Index, which is, again, at an all-time, well, not an all-time high, but the highest since 2006. So when you take a look at what's going on with mortgage rates, they've ticked up a little bit. When you take a look at what's happening with home values, they've also gone up pretty well across the 20 cities that Case-Shiller tracks. Now you understand why pending home sales are down month on month. People have now found it, at least relative to our current time, a little bit less affordable to buy a house, and they're backing away a little bit.
Well, we certainly know that there were inventory issues. We know that when we came out of all that distressed housing, that the home builders were not building new stuff. People were buying the distressed. The home builders have started to come back, but they really haven't ramped up big building, and so we have, inventory issues. There's not a house to buy, and the ones that are to buy are cost more.
Well, that's right, and you've seen that a little bit in the home builder stocks too. They've gotten hit a little bit. They're coming back because they've started to report good quarterly numbers, but they pulled back from the market a little bit because of the spike in interest rates that we saw over the summer in 2013 that definitely hurt their business. Remember, home builders primarily are land managers, so they're holding a lot of vacant land. There's a huge cost of carry. It's in their incentive to build houses and get them out, but they're not going to go ahead and carry additional inventory on top of the land if they can't get them sold. They'll creep back into the market a little bit, but they've still got a long way to go.
Are we putting too much weight on these numbers because we are in the winter, and that is normally a time when these types of numbers go down?
Seasonally, that is correct. Seasonally, certainly, as soon as you get after September, that's when home sales numbers start to go down, and permits generally go down because people should have already bought their houses, get their kids into the school districts, whatever the case may be. But they adjust those on a seasonal basis when they come out, and they look at them on an annualized way. Again, it's a mixed bag. We need to be cautious about what the permits and the starts look like. I wish we'd gotten the starts number. That would have kind of filled in the gaps for me on some of those numbers, but we're not going to get them. So right now we're going to be neutral on housing a little bit and hopefully see that the trend on pending existing home sales starts to tick back up a little bit, and that'll give us more confidence.
All right, well, there you have it from Keith. It sounds like he is not in the market for a house right now because he is neutral. That's Keith Bliss from Cuttone, and I'm Deborah Borchardt with The Street.